Well, good morning guys and welcome to Footsteps and Tire Tracks. And today we've got a new device we want to test, and I want to introduce you to the wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, dash cam, camera, rear camera, screen. It does it all really. It looks amazing. So I think first of all what we'll do is we'll unbox it and see what we've actually got in the box.
We're Mark and V, and this is our adventures.
Okay, so first of all we're going to open up the box and have a look inside and see what we've actually got supplied. So the box is very neatly packaged. And the first thing we come across is the actual screen. So we know that the screen is a 10.26 and it's a landscape screen. It's quite nicely put together. You can see on the back of the screen there is a movable camera, and that's a 4K camera for the front. We have a power button on the top, so it's easy access. And on the side, if we turn there, we have multiple inputs. We have the SD card, we have the GPS, we have the AV in, and then we have the USB Type-C charger. All very neat and tidy, and it's nice to see USB-C as well because it's so much easier to actually insert a USB-C, and the cables are, I personally think, are that much sturdier. Now that looks really, really quite nice, doesn't it? The base, there's a little bit of flex to that base. So as with most car dashes are quite curved in it. There's not very many that are straight these days. So hopefully that would attach to your dash quite securely. Now you could screw it into your dash. I know a lot of people don't like doing that because it wrecks your dash. And because of that they've included a big 3M bonding strip on the bottom, and that looks like that's going to hold anything. I wouldn't be too worried about that. There is a protective film on the screen. I'm going to leave that on for the moment until we've gone through the install, and there's actually a protective screen on the camera as well, which we won't remove until we've actually done that. The base is actually rotatable, you can see that there, hopefully you can see that. So all in all, that looks quite a nice device. I think that's an ideal size. Obviously we'll see once we've installed it. We're going to install it on our VW Auto Sleeper, which we've just purchased actually. We just did a journey this weekend as it happens, and we had no sat nav. Frustrating. Could have put this one in, couldn't I? Anyway, so that's the screen. Put that to one side, and we'll bring the box back and we'll see what else we've got in the box. You can see that there. So you've got your switched and your continuous. There is your audio output, and there is your USB connection. So you can connect the device to the car. You have a very long audio cable, mini jack to mini jack. So that can plug in, if your device in your car has already got a mini jack, you can plug it in. I think we're not going to have that on this occasion. Then we have a GPS. So we've got GPS, so we can plug a GPS into the device. That comes in very handy with a dash cam. Just show you that. That comes in very handy with a dash cam, because should you have an incident, the dash cam will also record the location, so it's good for your insurance. Then we have, if you don't want to do the hardwire install, we have the cigarette lighter install. And so we have all the same connections. You obviously there, you got your cigarette lighter connection, you have the USB-C power, and then we have USB, and we have audio in, audio out to your audio device, your head unit on your car. Then, what do we have here? This is the third, this is the rear camera. So the rear camera is a 1080 rear camera. So we got quite a long amount of cable. Now we're going to put it in the Auto Sleeper, so this is going to be probably a little bit difficult to do today. We may do a temporary run and just literally run it through the van for today, just so you can see it working. And we have some screws, some plates, and there is the actual camera. You can see that camera there. That's a 1080p camera. So that's all very nice. It all looks really good kit. I can't say, this is $100 as well. I think I looked on the website and I think they were $100. This one has actually been sent to me by Seicane, so I only paid for postage. So I will be honest with what I think about it. I've used a few other systems as well, so I will be very, very honest with what I think about it. And that is everything. So there's not a lot to it, and I think it's going to be quite an easy install. Let's let you have a very, very close look at the screen. So we'll just bring him round so you can see him nicely. So you can see there's the rear camera, and if we turn him over, you can see, catch the light right, you can see there is the power button, and then we got all the connections there. I think we need to get down and have a look in the car and see what we think. Well, so here we are, and we're in the auto sleeper now. As you can see, we have got a double din head unit here. It's a Kenwood one as well. However, it is wired in Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. So we're not going to use that at all. We're literally going to install the Seicane unit, and we're going to see what it looks like in the dash. We're going to see how easy it is to connect, and we're going to just literally go through all the process so you can go with me step by step and see exactly what I say, and hopefully you will see it's a really easy process and you'll think maybe, you know, this could be the one I really want. So like I said, it's a really cheap unit. That's the best thing about it, first of all. So let's just take him out a minute and have a look, you know, where we would like position him on the dash. So there we are. We can mount our camera there. Camera, screen. I don't know what you would call this. It's because I suppose it's a dash cam, isn't it? It's a very, very clever dash cam, because it gives you the Android Auto. It will give you the sat nav. It would allow you to play music on your device. Well, it would give you Apple CarPlay or Android Auto on any head unit you've got on your car. You know, so if you've got a really old car, this would do it, and cheaply. So I really think that this could be a very, very good solution. So what we want to do is we want to get it all rigged up first of all, don't we? So on this occasion, we're literally going to plug in the cigarette lighter. Then we're going to power up the device using the USB-C connector. And then we're going to put in the GPS. So we've got a few cables that are going to be lying around at the moment. So we're just going to have to tidy that up in a minute. We'll just give that one a little tiny bit of length, just so we can have him on the dash for testing purposes. Like I said, I'm not going to do a permanent install, but if you wanted to see how to hardwire in a dash cam, I do have other videos that you could watch and see how to do that. This USB will give you two options. You will be able to have your phone connected directly to the unit, so you could have hardwired Android Auto, which sort of defeats the object really, doesn't it? And that's not what we want it for. But you can also charge your phone via that connection as well, so that would be useful. And this one here, as I said, this is to connect into the audio of your head unit. Now we can't do that because this head unit hasn't got an audio adapter, audio plug. So what we're going to do is, there is another feature where you can tune it into the FM radio. You won't get quite as good sound, however, it will work, and that's what we're going to do on this one. It looks like they've supplied an SD card with it, which is even better. So there is an SD card in this one, so I don't need to insert one. So we're going to just remove the foil film, or the film. Just going to remove a film from the camera lens. And what I've done is I've put two little bits of sticky on the bottom of the main pad, because like I said, it's going to be a temporary install. And of course there's one last connection to connect in, and that is the reversing camera. Now, I'm not sure if we got enough cable to get to the back of this van, and if we haven't, we'll take it to a side window or something so you get the effect. Now, also, you'll notice there's a red cable on this wiring loom, and that is to go to the positive of your reversing lights. And what that does is when you put your vehicle into reverse, it will put the reversing screen onto the unit. Okay, so we've actually connected the cable, the rear camera, and we've got it to the back window of the van. So that is really, really amazing. I'm impressed. The length of that cable. So it's going to go to the back of any car, no problem at all. This van is 6.2 meters long, and there's still a little bit of flat, you know, it's loose. So you know, if you've got to feed it around the car, you know, in the roof space and everything, you're not going to have any issues at all. That is really, really great. So let's move on. We've connected everything up. Let's put some power. We'll turn the fans off, and I'm hoping that we'll get power on the unit. So I'd imagine we just press power on. And there we see the unit booting up. We can straight away, the dash cams come up, we can see the view. Now it's a little bit curved, and that's, you know, a typical wide angled lens, you know, that's what happens. It's a dash cam, so we can move a camera so we can see a little bit of the screen, so we can, you know, move it up and move it down. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm moving up and moving down. Now directly in front of me is the gate, so if we wanted to move it a bit further over, so we're getting more of the front of the vehicle, so let's move it up a little bit more than that, and there we are. That is our camera. We got time, we can see time, date, and everything is setting correctly at the moment. So I presume now we're going to learn this together now. So if I wanted to record something, I would touch a screen, and you can see there we have record. SD card needs to be formatted. If we were to go to home, and there we are. Let's start from the home screen, and we'll work our way through it, because we need to go into some settings first of all to prepare it. So we'll go into settings. It's always a good place to start. And we come along, we have mobile link, we have CarPlay position, we have resolution. So let's go in and have a look at resolution first of all. So it's on 4K, we have 2.5K, 1080p and 720p. And this is for the front camera. So we'll accept that. We move across, loop recording. How long do you want your loop recording to happen? You have 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. I'm going to leave it on 5 minutes, because the longer that the clips are, the less clips you're going to have to go through to actually find footage if you require it. So that's my reasoning there. We'll carry on. We have a G sensor. Now this is when your car gets bumped. So if you had it hardwired in, you may have it so that it wakes up if it's knocked. So say, for instance, you're in a car park, you may want it, you know, to be notified. Well, I would want to be notified, wouldn't you? So maybe you want to have it on a high setting, so it records, you know, when it is a gentle knock, so you know about these things. And if you've got a rear camera and a front camera recording at the same time, chances are you're going to see who it was, and hopefully get the registration details if they go off and leave without telling you stuff. Car on-screen display. So this is what I presume you call the unit. So we could put the registration number in there and turn it on, so that would be in the recording all the time. We'll turn it on, we'll leave it at AB0001 and see how that goes. Speed limit. Speed unit, sorry. I need to learn to read, don't I? So we're in the UK, so we're going to have miles an hour. Speed compensation. Now, sometimes you'll notice when you're using one of these devices that your GPS speed and the speed on these devices doesn't tie up. Well, this is where you can add 2 mile an hour, take away 2 mile an hour, 3 mile an hour, and so on. It makes it a little bit more accurate. Sometimes it's very, very difficult to tie it up absolutely positively, but it does help out. GPS info. So we got the GPS connected, and it's telling me the GPS is invalid. We'll just wait a little while because we've got a few bushes and trees around us. So we'll come back to the GPS a little later. We'll do that. So we come across screensaver. If you wanted a screensaver to kick in, that would be where you'd select it. I don't think I do. We come across we have settings guideline. And that's for when you're reversing. I was telling you about the reversing camera, and you'd be able to move that. I think you can just grab that. Yeah, you can. And move it to where you want that to be. So you can have the green area. Obviously, I've got my garage behind me now. So if you wanted that to be a little bit, well, I can't get it any closer. Where I am now, I can go back about another 3 inches. So that would be a good indication that I need to start thinking about stopping. The back camera mirror, and whether we need to flip it or not. So we'll know about that when we look at it. We come down to the bottom row, and we have back camera that's back camera mirror. That's back camera flip. So that enables us to rotate the camera in whichever way we see fit. Sometimes when you use it as a reversing, a rear camera, as this one here at the moment, that's going to be changed by the way, that would enable you to be able to see what you would see in your reversing mirror. Then you come across, you have your language. Well, I'm speaking English, and it's already set to English, but you have various languages there. I'm not sure, but I'd imagine that's Chinese up the top, maybe variations of Chinese. They got French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Polish, plenty of language options there, so I don't think there'll be any issues there for you. And then we have a date. Now, how would you like to read it? I like to read day, month, year. That's how we do it here in the UK. So we'll set that one. I don't know if that's set then. Yes, it did. So as soon as you do it, it changes. Wi-Fi switch. Now, I'm not sure what Wi-Fi switch is, but it's on. So we'll have to find out about that. I'll try and read up and let you know. And Wi-Fi info. So there's a Wi-Fi if we want to connect to this device. And that is a QR code there. So we can connect to that device. What I'll do is I'll actually do that with my iPhone. And there is an actual app. So Roadcam. So we'll get that app. I want to see my face a minute. I'm glad someone else wants to see my face. And that will install the Roadcam app. So we'll just go back to settings. While that's downloading, we'll just go back to settings. And I think oh no, there's another row. So format SD card. That's certainly something we want to do. So we're going to confirm we're formatting. It's always nice to have that second question, because the last thing you want to do is go and format something that really you didn't want to lose. However, if you should ever do that, here will be one of my videos on how to recover lost files should you need it. Okay, so it's not all lost unless you record over it again, because when you wipe a file, you're actually only deleting the header of the file, so the file remains. So it's just not recognized by the operating system, but you can recover it with a different bit of software, and I can show you to do that in that video should you ever need that. But if you record again over the top of it, pretty much that chance is gone. Okay, so we've done that. We've done all our settings. I'm just going to go back in one last time, and we're going to have a look, see. And the last thing was a factory reset. Well, we don't want to do that at the present moment. And version. So there we are. That tells you the version of the software we're on. 28th of the 7th, 2023. So I would imagine that's quite a new version. Time setting. Oh, there we are. So we can set the date, time, month, and year. So if I was to say, hey Siri, what is the date?
It's Monday, the 11th of September, 2023.
And there you are. Hey Siri, what time is it?
It's 11:06.
So we can see the time is out. So 11:06. Time zone. We obviously don't want to be... I think we're +1, so that again changes our time. So let's just get back there. So obviously it was just that the time zone was out. So there we are, 11:06, because we've set it in the right time zone now. We're in GMT +1 at the moment, but we go to GMT standard later on in the year. So I don't know how to cope with that, because I couldn't see GMT standard. Maybe at either end, sometimes it is. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. So that's all our settings. There's nothing else I've missed there, hopefully. I'm just looking again. Nope, there's nothing else we've missed. So we're going to come back out of that. And obviously now, because the card has been formatted, it starts recording. Now I don't know about you, but I'm feeling like it looks a little bit dim. So what we'll do is we'll go back into the home settings, and I think we'll brighten it up a little bit. So we've got the brightness. That's probably as bright as it's going to go. So the next thing we want to do is we want to have a look at this recorder. So there we are. There's a recorder. We can see this outside, and we'll take the van for a drive in a little while so you can see it actually in motion as well. And when we touch the screen, we have photo. So we can literally take a picture of our little van going by. Well, it wasn't quite. We can lock the SD card. We can turn the microphone on and off. And that there is the rear camera. A little tiny bit of banding on that rear camera. You can just see that. That would be a little bit annoying, but we'll see if we can't find out why that's doing that. And then press it again, and we have the two cameras together. But there is a little tiny bit of banding. That could be just down to the camera connection. It could be because the cable is running near wire, hard wires, which always doesn't help. So we'll look into that, and then we'll carry on, and we're back into the main camera. And that's banding as well. So I'm thinking that there's probably an issue because we're going over the power. We want to connect, so we'll bring our phone. So we're going to have a look and see if we can see the Wi-Fi, which is going to be TF781BT. And it's asking us for a password. So we need to find out what the password is. Well, it doesn't give us any information about the Wi-Fi password. So what we'll do is we'll try the standards. We'll try maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 zeros. See what happens. Incorrect password. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there you are. That's your password. Default password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're just connecting to that one. Lots of pregnant pauses when you're trying to learn these things. Sadly, it didn't come with any instructions. Now that's one thing that would have been very helpful, but there probably is online, and I will look later and let you know if there is anything online. So we've got this one tuned into 99.2 and the radio on 99.2. So I would hope that when we connect it to the phone again, I'll turn on my Bluetooth so it gives the appearance of getting in and connecting. So I'm hoping it automatically finds it, but maybe because we lost power, all our settings have gone. There it is. Oh, it is connected, and so that connected quite quickly actually. So there we are. So now if I was to go on my phone and play some music, now I think I've got some music here that I downloaded earlier that I know I can play. This is from Epidemic Sound, and I'll put a link down below if you want to. If you're making videos and you want a good music choice, have a look at Epidemic Sound. I'll put a link down below. I will get a little kickback as well, but have a look. I love it. So let's play some music. I had a little bit of an issue with the FM because of me. I tried to tune into an existing radio station. So anyway, we've gone to a radio station. We've gone to a FM frequency that doesn't have a radio station now, 87.8, and I've connected to it on the Seicane unit. If I go in, you can see it's 87.8. Now my phone is connected to the unit. You have to have Wi-Fi and Bluetooth to connect, and you can see if I hold that there, there's a track from Epidemic Sound. Now if I can just do that, well, the screen's gone off while I do it. If I can just press play, and there you are. That is a sound coming over FM on the stereo. I think that's really, really good. What do you think? Tell me in the comments below, but I think that is really, really good. Certainly got no complaints about that. Standard speakers on FM. That's all it is. Anyway, so that is the phone. Now, if we want it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say done on that, and we're going to go back in, and we're going to switch off the Bluetooth. So that will disconnect, and we will go back to the recorder. And let's just imagine here we are. We've got into the car, the recorder's on, turn on the ignition, and the phone connects. So the Bluetooth's connecting. So what I'm hoping now is that we're actually going to see Apple CarPlay appear. I think we might have to go in. Right, so what we'll do, we'll go to Home, and we'll go to Screencast, and there we are. So you have to go into Screencast. So that's Apple CarPlay. So we could now have whatever we wanted. So we could have maps, and we can hopefully you can see how everything is. And if I remember rightly, you could decide in the menu how you wanted to see Apple CarPlay. Now, some people like all the map. Now, personally, I like it a different way. Go to settings, go to CarPlay position, and we're just going to go right, confirm that, starts recording, and we're just about to connect back to Apple CarPlay, and there we are. So we have Apple CarPlay on one side with the recording on the there, but we could also do it that way. So we have three menus. So you got your recording, you got your Apple CarPlay, your navigation, and then you got your music there. Now, obviously, if you connected the rear camera up to the reversing light, the power on the reversing light, when you go into reverse, you will actually see that screen turn to the reverse. So I would like to think that it would go to the full screen for that. We can't try that out at the moment, I'm afraid, but we're going to suppose that works. Now, that is Apple CarPlay, but I can hear lots of you saying, but I've got an Android phone, not an Apple. What's it like on that? So, I've just switched off Bluetooth. I'm going to switch off the Wi-Fi. So that is my iPhone disconnected. So we've gone back. So now, if I go into Screencast, there isn't anything. So, while we're waiting for the Android also to actually update, we're going to come into we're going to come back to the iPhone, and we're going to connect to the app, and obviously you'll be able to see this properly down on the side, but so it's looking for the dash cam. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to connect to the Wi-Fi. Hopefully it's going to connect to the right one. double check it is connected to, it's connected to my home Wi-Fi, so we'll just let it find the other Wi-Fis. Let's go back to the app, connect to the camera, and there you are. We're connecting to the camera, and you can see the camera behind. Now, if I was to just move my hand out, you can see. Okay, so I'm moving my hand behind, and you can see it's actually live on the camera. So we can switch cameras. So that's the camera that is behind you. That is my rear camera. So that's recording all the time as well. So what we will do is we'll take the van out in a little while, once we've done the Android Auto bit, and we'll just drive around the block and use a bit of sat nav or something, just to demo that as well. Have I taken any photos? Yes, I have. I took a photo. You can see that. And if we go into the video, you can see while we've been setting up, it's obviously recording the videos. Oh, that's the one I want. So there we are. Kindly remember. And hopefully you can hear that. It's actually recording me as well at the same time. Download to local more smooth. Oh, English ain't brilliant, but what it's saying is if you want to download it for a better viewing experience, download it to your local phone. And you can trim. Yeah, if we go in here, we can set trim. So we go in here, and it's pretty much like any tool you use. And you can also change the type of video you're looking at. I don't know if any of these sounds are worthy of using on YouTube, so I won't use them. But you have different music you can use with your video where you may want to do that. Look at that rain coming down. We've had, we've just had 2 absolutely scorched days when we've been at Busfest, and they were greeted with that. And I've come out to the van in bare feet as well. Not good. So that is your video, and you can trim it. You can turn the list on, so you can go and have a look at which video you want, and do whatever you want on this app. So you can see parking monitor, and say, we were talking about the G sensor being sensitive, so you can even see what's happened when you've been around, when you've been parked up. So that is everything. So you can start recording from the phone as well. So I presume if you could connect to your device from a little way away, you could do it. And what I've also just noticed as well, as the light is getting a bit dimmer, it tells you, it thinks we're doing 3 miles an hour. So I think we have to go in and change the settings to -3. So I'm doing 3 miles an hour in my drive. So we'll get that sorted out in a little while, because that's obviously not happening, is it? But there we are. That's the app. We'll come out of that. You have your moments. You can see all your downloads. Interestingly, none of this is mine. So obviously people can upload and join in an online type dashcam forum. Don't think we'll be doing that. There's all your software protocols, all the information if you care to read it. We're into the phone. Now we're just going to let, obviously it's first boot up after doing a system update. It wants to show me lots of new things, so we'll just get on with that for a minute. And then we'll come to our settings. We'll go to Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi is connected. And the Bluetooth. We're pairing. Interestingly, it lost that in the update. So we're going to pair again. And you heard that pair because you heard it come through the stereo, because we're still tuned into the FM. And
then we wanted to go to screencast, didn't we? So we press the screencast. So I'm hoping this time, permission required. And there we are. So continue. Android will turn Bluetooth and pair your phone. It also will also sync contacts and can with this car unless you have opted out. So we're going to continue. Google Maps needs location access. So there'll be a few things we're going to have to set up now. So there's the mic. It's going to pop around a bit. So strange that Google Maps needs location. Let's see if I can find the permissions here a minute. No, Maps didn't have location, and there you are. As soon as I give it location permission, you saw it pop in. So that's Android Auto working as well. That is really, this is $100. So if you're in the UK, what's that? That's about £85–90 ish. I don't know. Don't know what the exchange rate is at the moment, but it's cheap, and that's going to be brilliant. You know, if you're sat here driving, which we're going to find out in a little while. You know, if you because you'd wire it all in properly when you wouldn't have it all like this. You'd have it properly done into your dash, so you're going to see it properly. That's great. You got your sat nav, you got your dash cam, and a dash cam. Obviously, you got to remember, dash cam can give you discount on your insurance as well because it is recording. You know what's happening around you, and if it's not your fault, you know you can prove it. Perfect way to prove it. There's your dash cam. You got your reversing camera. I love it. I really do. I really think this is a great piece of kit. So here we go. We're going to take this van for a drive now. So we select screencast, and we're back to the iPhone. So I'll just check that we got Bluetooth and Wi-Fi enabled. Make sure, because obviously we've been swapping around on different devices, that's the reason I'm having to change it. And there we are. Right, so let's try something. Hey Siri, navigate to Tesco's.
Getting directions to Tesco Superstore.
You saw that. Let's go and take it for a drive. Now the rear camera isn't fixed, so it might slop about a little tiny bit, but I will show you some footage from the rear camera, and while we're doing this I can obviously superimpose this on the cameras. So here we go. All I wanted to do is really take it out for a little drive. You get the gist of it. The route can't be shown because of problem connected to the server. Well, that's interesting. That could be down to my mobile signal, which is quite terrible. Here you can do other commands as well. You can see it picks it straight up. Hey Siri, navigate home. We can't hear it because it's obviously not tuned in. You can see the radio flicking through all the channels. And I think it's found home now. Hey Siri, navigate to London. Yeah, it's trying to navigate to London. Now hopefully the camera in the back window stayed where it was. I didn't bother checking that, did I? So we'll have a look in a minute and see what that's like. But all in all, I think this is a brilliant unit. Sometimes, you know, I sort of finish a video up with my opinions. That's right. Right, so I suppose really this is the point where we can bring the video to a close.
And if you've got any questions, please ask down below. There's a discount code below as well, and they've been really, the Seicane people have been really easy to deal with, so no issues there at all. What do I think of the unit? It was easy to set up. It's fully featured, isn't it? It does everything you want it to do. You can't complain on that respect at all. Would I buy one? Yeah, I think I would if I had to. You know, if you've got an old car, or old van, old lorry, that doesn't have all the Apple CarPlay or Android Auto bits and pieces that you want to connect to your phone, it makes it so simple, it really does. And you know, it updates your system without modifying your car too much. And doing it easy. You know, if you're going to go on a long journey and you don't want it normally, how easy was that to connect in just as a temporary measure? You know, if you're going on a long journey, going on a European adventure or something, and you just want sat nav to be available for that journey, a bit more than just your phone. Apple Maps or Google Maps, you can use Waze, which is my personal favourite, or another. I mean, some people with motorhomes are looking for something that doesn't take them down narrow lanes, which is something I'm thinking about now. So maybe we'll be doing a little bit of a video on that at a later stage, finding a sat nav that can actually work with wider vehicles, because sometimes you get sent down these little narrow lanes that can be quite intimidating. But if you've enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up, and if you want to see more tech videos like this, please subscribe to the channel, because there will be lots more. We really hope to do lots more of tech associated around what we do, you know, the camping, the travelling, and, you know, camper vans, all this sort of travel tech, all together involved. Really do. And of course there's the things that go with it. You know, we actually go camping in our camper vans, we go travelling around the world. We got more Indonesian videos coming up, there's still more. We got probably about another 20 days worth of travel for you to see. Yeah, we've been to America a couple of weeks ago. They videos are coming up. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, really do appreciate it. We'll see you in the next video. Look after yourselves. See you later. Bye.